Welcome, family. This is the Velvet Locks with a very important topic to discuss and talk about today. Now, this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. At that time in my life, I still had a lot of unanswered questions and confusions. So at the time when I was thinking about making this video, I didn't have a lot of the missing pieces to the puzzle until now. All right, so this is a topic that is very controversial. It's not something that you live every single day unless you run into these type of people. I've gotten questions from you guys asking me from time to time about that dude and the wedding and all of that. Well, for those of you who have seen my community post, I put out there that nope, the wedding is canceled. There will not be a wedding. And I want to discuss the truth about being with a person who you then found out is a narcissist. The kind of characteristics to look out for with dealing, when it comes to these people. Now, I know that I put out there, I showed all of our happy times. I showed all of our family times, with him sharing my family life. And there was a lot of behind the scenes questions, a lot of behind the scenes confusions, where it came to our relationship. Because when you come into something, you come into it with your heart open and ready. Well, on his part, there seemed to have been a lot of missing pieces that were not answered until recently. When he and I met, we met on social media. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You have your hit and misses, finding people in different various places and stuff like that. But all was good in the beginning, and that's usually how it is. When we first met, all was good. That's the love bombing stage. There's different stages and levels that you go through with dealing with a narcissist. And the part that gets you is the love bombing stage. That's the stage that they do everything, okay? Make you feel so special, make you feel like that queen on top of the world, make you feel as though you are the only one that matters in their life, make you feel as though you're the ultimate. Now, what woman or man doesn't want somebody on their team like that, okay? But that wasn't what drew questions or raised red flags. I thought that was, meeting this dude and thinking that all was good and, being pampered, being, loved on, but not knowing that I was being prepared and groomed for his abusive tactics. All right. Now, it wasn't until I did a lot of research after the fact that I realized the kind of person that I was dealing with was absolutely a narcissist. The smoke screen was the love bombing stage. That was the part that captured me right away, and that's the part that captures all of us right away. When somebody showers you with presents, with all sorts of admirations, and everything you can possibly think of that makes you feel good inside. Not realizing in due time, and I do mean due time because it's inevitable, it's going to happen. But it wasn't until in due time that that love bombing stage and that, pretty much idolizing stage turned into confusion. Turned into critiquing, arguments, little dumb stuff that will pop up, insecurities on his part, and jealousies. Lots of jealousies. I mean, this is the type of character, it will try to separate you from your support system, from your family, from your good relationships with people. Doesn't matter what it is. This is the type of person that's so insecure with themselves that they're jealous over anybody that comes near you, that gives you something to think about, opens your eyes to the reality. Even your own children. This is the type of person that will come into your household and try to divide your family. That will try to create all sorts of discord and isolation and separation in your household. This is also the type of character that will try to challenge. Like, say if you have sons, older children, especially sons, this is the type of person that will try to come against your child. One thing, and I don't think this is going to be a one-time video because there's so many different factors to a narcissist that can't be explained in just one video. But I'm briefly going to give you an overview as far as the characteristics that I found out in my relationship with that dude. Things that I didn't know nothing of. when it came to dealing with this type of demonic spirit, because that's basically what a narcissist is. It's a spirit you've never met before. It's the type of person that you could not have dreamt of. It's the type of person that comes in like the Tasmanian devil, which is surprisingly, he had that tattooed on his arm, but comes in like a flood in your life, turmoils everything, tosses everything upside down, causes emotional, mental, physical abuse, even financial abuse. We're talking about the pathological everything that they could be, the pathological behaviors that they have, the pathological lying, the pathological stealing, and the pathological cheating, manipulating. Okay, there's a lot of pathological going on with a narcissist. The major thing is gaslighting. Now, gaslighting is when they explode uncontrollably with emotional hatred or anger or vengeance, or just angry for nothing. Angry about everything. Angry about even the littlest things that makes no sense. And then right after being angry, at the same time, trying to be loving because they want something, or trying for you to be supportive because they need you, but at the same time being angry, hateful, name blaming, blame shifting, anything to confuse your mind off of what you're upset about, to turn it back on you, to make it seem like you're the problem. And this was the confusion all the time. How he used to try to turn around and manipulate situations that was his fault, that was his doing, his handiwork, and try to make you feel as though you're the one at fault. There's just so much behind the scenes stuff that I tried to deal with, dealing with this individual. I cannot say I didn't love him, because I did. I did. And I gave him a lot of chances to show and prove himself, to change his ways, even to the point of him going to therapy. Now, it wasn't until at a point in time in our relationship that it got to the point where I needed out completely. I wanted out completely. But one thing with a narcissist, no matter how many times you pull away, if you are that good supply, that person that they need and depend on the most, that's what a supply is. The person that they get fed from, meaning whatever it is that they are attracted to you for. Could be financial gain. It could be like my platform, YouTube, okay? Wanting to be in the spotlight. It could be you having money. You having possessions, like a big house, like vacation homes, and just anything that you have that they don't. A business, that leadership drive, whatever they see important that they like in you, that's what they try to come after. Okay, that's what they want to be like. And what frustrates them is the fact that they're so insecure within themselves and so full of jealousy and rage, and to the point where they want what you have, and it bothers them. It bothers them that you have it and they don't. There's so many different characteristics that I can go into, but this video right here, I just wanted to touch bases and give a little explanation as far as the relationship that we had, the fact that it's done. Thank you, Lord. I survived narcissistic abuse from that dude. And also the whole structure as far as the characteristics of that type of person. He was diagnosed, clinically diagnosed with PTSD, bipolarism, as well as other mental illnesses. And they stemmed from those dirty little secrets that a lot of households have from the old school about what goes on in the house stays in the house. And it came from a cycle. His hurt, anger, self-esteem, jealousies, all of that stemmed from a traumatic event, or should I say traumatic events that took place in his life that is generationally cursed in his family. But I'm not going to go too deep into that in this video. I just wanted to touch bases a little bit and to really find out from you guys if this is something that you guys want to hear more of. The type of characteristics, the kind of demonic spirits that a narcissist is, okay? And the kind of abusive relationship that you are inevitably going to have with them. Okay? When you're involved with a narcissist, it's not a regular relationship that goes bad. That's different. This is a severe, mentally abusive, emotionally abusive, and a twisted way of living your life. It's some sort of fairy tale land that is a delusional land for them to live in that they've created in their heads. And those are the thoughts that he believes as facts. So a narcissist does not live in our reality. They have their own reality and their own way of thinking of what they believe is truth. So dealing with this type of spirit really shook me. And I'm going to be very straight up and honest with y'all. It shook me because it took me by surprise, although I started seeing a lot of red flags. And I was confused because I wanted to find out where all of this was coming from, why, what's going on. You know, when you're in it, you try to work through it. But then there comes a time when you can't. If you stay in it, it's going to consume you. It's going to destroy you. It's going to steal your life. Because being with a narcissist is like being with a molester. It's like being with a child molester. It's like being with a pedophile. And it's like being with a mentally, emotionally disturbed person. There's a whole lot more to the story as far as a narcissist, characteristics of a narcissist, the kind of abuse that you will deal with dealing with the narcissist, the kind of confusion and disarrays that is involved with the narcissist, the cycle that never stops until they discard you. Or should I say until or unless they discard you. And even after you're not even in their lives anymore, how they continue to try and hover, seek you out, continue to latch on to you even after you've left. All right. So I thank you so much, you guys. When I put this on my community post, I got so many wonderful messages in support of my safety, in support of me being happy and finally dodging that narcissistic bullet. But it wasn't until I got shot by the narcissistic bullet that I was able to dodge a future life that was being planned. And the completeness of knowing the truth of the kind of people that they are, and the kind of tactics and snares and manipulative tactics and deceptions and stuff that they create to try to make you feel like that is your reality, and it's not. So if you want to know more, if you got questions that you want to ask, list them down below. This is going to be something that I wanted to bring awareness to for so many women and men that are dealing with these type of demonic spirits, these type of demonic people. It's something you have never dealt with before. First of all, we go through so many different relationships, so many different personalities in our relationships, because even after that relationship, you're left with scars. You're left with emotional confusions and even depression if you don't go and get help. So this is something that is so serious. This is something that is not clinically diagnosed right away. It's something that is missed, that is overlooked, that even a therapist overlooks it. Behavior, characters, beings. We bump into these types of people and don't even recognize the signs and symptoms to be aware. So this is why I'm doing this. I'm putting out my reality, my truth, because like I said, Loyalty Squad, you guys have been rocking with me for a while. And if I could put my happy times out there, I could also put out my sad times. I could share it all because I am not ashamed of putting my truth out there. I'm not ashamed. I'm not trying to hide it because it's the truth. It's the reality. But instead of it being something that I hold on to myself, I want this to be a help to somebody else who might be out there. All right? Going through the same thing, who might be suffering, who might be confused, who might not even know what to look for, what's going on. Their life is turned upside down and they can't break any types of soul ties that they develop with this person. It's hard. So this is something that I want to bring awareness to. This is not the first and only time I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to also talk in depth, in detail, okay? Personal detail on things that took place in my relationship with that narcissist, as well as some background information on the family structure and the generational curses that is in that family, that is rampant, the mental illness that is involved, just so many different things. The realities that you are left with, it's going to shock you. All right? So this is the first video, but from this point, I'm going to put the rest of the videos that I make on my other channel. So this way, this channel doesn't get bombarded with a lot of that traffic. I want my videos on this channel to be about health, and it is about health, so yeah. But I have another channel that I will be uploading a lot of these type of videos on. So if you're interested in trying to find out more about narcissists, and if you're in a narcissistic, abusive relationship, this should hopefully help you out, okay? And I'm not an expert. I'm still learning. I did research. I've listened to other videos, which is what helped me into recognizing the problem that I was involved with. Okay? The demonic spirit that I was involved with. So, yeah, you guys, listen. This is wonderful. New beginning. Okay? New beginning. New beginning. Okay? When you can say that you have dodged a bullet that would have affected you for the rest, possibly for the rest of your life. It could have taken you out even through health-wise. I want to help. I want to help all of you who are going through something like this by me sharing my story. And if you got questions, list them down below, because we're going to be talking about this for a while, okay? We are going to be discussing this. I'm also going to give you my email address so we can either email each other, talk behind the scenes, and possibly do videos making it more aware out here in this society, out here in this world, because so many of us are destroyed emotionally, mentally, physically, even financially by these people. And it's like they try to scramble your mind, scramble your reality, and trade your reality for theirs. Okay? Leaving you scarred, confused, depressed, and abused emotionally. Honestly, he and I broke up a while ago. This is my first video since then. So all questions are welcome. They will be answered. If you want to do a live, we can do a live. If you want me to do a podcast, I can do this segments in podcast form or just video form. All right? So thank you so much, you guys. Again, I love you. Thank you for your support. Share these videos, especially with the awareness that I'm going to be bringing to you regarding me being involved with a demonic, mentally ill person. And until the next video, you guys, I will see you then.